Okay, while we're on the favorite screen, another great feature of this new Alpine platform is the easy sound setup function. Most of these types of radios have a lot of sound settings built in. They have time correction, equalization, crossover settings, but most people aren't really comfortable setting those up themselves. They don't really understand really what the effects of those kind of settings are. So we make it easy. By touching the iPersonalize button, you can see that you have two different ways to actually set up the sound of your system. One is by car-specific sound setup, and one is by easy setup. Now, we talked about with the 8-inch radio in particular, the perfect fit kits that we have set up for this particular radio. There's 10 perfect fit kits that cover about 20 different vehicle models. So if you happen to have one of those vehicles, sound setup could not be easier. You pick easy setup, you find your list, your vehicle on the list. So for example, we'll pick Ford F-150, you tap that, you hit OK, and it sets up the sound setup for the F-150. Those are actually done all in-house by us, so we listen to each vehicle and we make sure that they sound right before they go out the door. Now, what if you don't have a vehicle on the perfect fit list, or maybe you're using the 6.1 version of this product? Then you would use a car-specific sound setup. So we'll give you an example. This is a four-door Toyota Tundra, so we're going to do that as an example of how this system works. So we'll pick four-door truck. We're going to pick left side, because obviously we drive on the left side here in the United States. This truck has 6.5-inch speakers in the front. It has tweeters, aftermarket. It has rear door panel speakers, also aftermarket, and it has a subwoofer installed with cloth seats. Okay, so based on all of those parameters, once I hit OK, it's now going to set up the sound based on that type of vehicle. And it's a really good basic way to get a good sound setting in the vehicle. It sets the crossovers correctly for the speaker size. It sets the subwoofer crossover. It also turns the subwoofer on, which is default set to off. And it'll set some equalization and time correction parameters based on the size of the vehicle. Now, if you want, from here, you can go in to the actual sound settings and set up extra features. So for example, we can go into the sound setup mode, obviously while you're parked, because this is in the menu function. Go into sound. We can set up parametric EQ separately. Okay, we can set up crossover separately. All of this stuff can be done now based on the settings that we've already made. So you can further tweak the settings above and beyond the settings that are in the preset for your vehicle. All right, so now we're going to show you the secure simple pairing process with a Droid phone. This is a Motorola phone. And again, we're going to turn on Bluetooth first. And as soon as it's on, it's going to give me a list of devices. And we're going to see AlpineINE-Z928HDOverview as one of those devices. So we're going to select that. And then it's going to say verify the passcode. We're going to say OK. We're going to say pair on the phone itself. And we've just paired this Droid phone to our Alpine radio. Now, once we've done that, we'll be able to actually use Pandora in addition to the hands-free phone call features and audio streaming. So now that we have our Droid phone connected, we have full capability over the Pandora app that's built into the Droid phone, and that's all done wirelessly. As you can see, no wires. This is done through the Bluetooth connection. So we've got the Pandora app launched on the phone. You can see it shows a Pandora and Alpine connection, and then all my control comes through the screen, just like it would with an iPhone plugged into the dock connector, but it's just done wirelessly. And you have all the exact same capabilities. So you've got thumbs up and thumbs down control, and you've also got the ability to create and search your station. So for example, I'll create a new station. We're going to create a station based on, let's see, we'll do something back from the 80s. We're going to search that. It's going to pull up the Smiths. We're going to make a new station. And as soon as that loads, we're going to have a new station built on to our Droid phone right from the Alpine unit. Pairing process is very simple. So I'm going to give you an example of how that works. Now, we're going to use an iPhone. The best way to pair any device like this is to start with the phone itself and find the Alpine device on the phone. So we're going to turn our Bluetooth on, and it's going to come up with a list of devices that are in range. And it should show AlpineINE-Z928HDOverview, and it's going to say not paired. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to then link up to the Alpine unit. It's going to AlpineINE-Z928HDOverview would like to pair with your phone. Pair, hit OK on the radio itself, and we've just paired my phone to this unit. It's that simple. All right, so now we're going to show you how to search through your iPod using the AlpineINE-Z928. So first of all, I'm going to select iPod audio, obviously as a source. Then I'm going to use my search button down here to go into music or video. Now I don't have any video on this iPhone, otherwise it would come up and show and allow me to select video. So I'm going to show you how to do with music. You can see we can pick by playlists, artists, album, songs, just like you would on your iPod. So we'll pick artists, for example. There, all my artists are listed. Now what's great about this is with a lot of music in your library, you can use the alphabet search function to quickly jump down and find exactly what you want. So we'll go to, let's see here. We'll pick the game. We can pick any of the songs that I have in there. Hit that and we can play. Now what's great about this system too is you can go back one step. So by hitting the list button on the left here, it'll take me back one step to the search that I just completed. So I don't have to go through the whole search process again to find the music I want. If I want to play another game song, I can do that without going through the entire search menu. Another thing I really like about this system is the ability to shuffle in different playlists or lists of songs. So for example, if I go into playlists and I pick classic rock, for example, okay? Now I can shuffle all the tracks that are on this by simply pushing one of the tracks to play and then hitting the shuffle button. Now that shuffle button's only going to shuffle the songs that are in either the playlist, the artist, or the album that I've selected. So it only shuffles within those areas, and that's a really nice feature if you want to mix up the songs that are in the playlist that you already have. All right, so we're going to show you guys how to do Pandora from an iPhone on our brand new AVN system, which is the AlpineINE-Z928HD. And this would also work the same way with the AlpineINE-S920HD and the IVE-W535HD. So the first thing you want to do is plug in your iPhone. So we're going to plug that in. And to make Pandora work, we're also going to have to launch our Pandora app. And as you can see, once we launch that app, it says Pandora and Alpine on the screen. Now, we can put the phone away and we can select Pandora on the touchscreen. So I'm going to touch the Pandora button. That's going to bring Pandora up. And now I'm going to have full control over my Pandora app directly through the Alpine radio. So you can see I've got thumbs up and thumbs down control. So we like Tom Petty, we're giving him a thumbs up. We can create station from an artist, create station from track, or create a new station alphabetically. So to give you an example of that, we'll create a new station and we can actually go into the list and let's pick one that we want to do. We'll pick Metallica, for example. So M-E-T, and we'll hit OK. And we're going to let Pandora search and find a list of the applicable stations. So obviously Metallica right there at the top, so we're going to click that. And now I've just created a brand new station based on Metallica music. So now I can listen to that. So you can see that you get full control over your Pandora iPhone app done all directly through the Alpine touchscreen. This system uses a brand new 3D navigation platform, and it's got some really unique features. The best way to demonstrate this is to take you for a drive. So first of all, we're going to pick a destination. So there's a couple different ways to do that. You can see I'm on the navigation menu now. That's just done by simply hitting the navigation button. I can go by find address, find places, so the point of interest list, and I can also go into my address book and find addresses that I've already saved. So for today's example, I'm actually going to do the fourth way to add an address in the system, and that's through your favorites menu. So if you tap the star button, once you have your favorites set up, you can see that you have many different choices. You can have things like Bluetooth phone contacts, you can have points of interest for your navigation, and even audio built in to your favorites menu. So we're going to use a quick point of interest search, which is airport. So I'm going to tap airport. That's going to take me and give me a list instantly of all the airports that are in and around the area that I'm at. So we're going to go to Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. We're going to select that. I'm going to touch select. You can see it's going to calculate the route, and notice how fast it calculates the route too. And then I'm going to hit go. Once we've done that, we can start navigating. So here we go. Now you're going to notice a couple things on the screen right away. Of course, you're going to get your line that you're following, and that's how we know which direction we're heading. So we are going to be heading north here, and we're going to take a right up in 900 feet. So your next maneuver is always going to be in the upper left corner of your screen. Okay? You'll see a few other icons on the screen as well, and we'll talk about those as we go. Notice that as we approach the intersection, the system starts to zoom in to get you closer. This is the auto zoom feature, and it's very handy because when you come close to an intersection, it zooms down so you can see the detail of the area that you're driving in. But once we get on the freeway, you'll notice the system will zoom back out. That'll give me a better overview so I have a better sense of where I'm heading. It's really, really good for when you're driving, especially in areas that you don't know. So we're gonna make a right here. Now notice, coming up on the right-hand side, you guys are gonna see another really great feature of this system, and that's the 3D building view. See these buildings? If you look out the window on the right-hand side here, that's actually one of the big Toyota buildings, and it shows that building on the right-hand side. So while you're navigating, it gives you landmarks and icons so that you can see exactly the type of territory that you're driving in. And you'll see more examples of that as we go. So you can see we're going to make a left on Western Avenue. So we're going to do that now. Again, you can see it counting down on the upper left-hand side of the screen. One of the big benefits of the 8-inch system is the big icons and big buttons. It really makes the system easy to see and easy to use while you're driving. This is another great feature. Notice the exit view. So it's going to show you Western Avenue, and it's also going to show you 405 northbound. This one's grayed out because it wants us to go on the 405 north. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a right. So this type of visual identification really makes the system easier to use while you're navigating. So now we're about to get on the freeway. So since we're slow, a couple things we'll mention here. First thing you'll see is the traffic icon. So I'm going to touch that icon and I'm going to show you how this works. What this is going to do is it's going to show you all the events that are both on your route and in the area. So you can see there's 228 traffic events. Well, we're in LA, you'd expect that, especially at 4:30 in the afternoon. But fortunately, on our route, which is 405 North, there are 0 congestion events. So we don't have anything to worry about on our route. So we're going to exit back out of that and go back to our map. And here we get on the freeway now. You can see our distance, 9.1 miles and about 16 minutes remaining. Now that time is based on the speed that you're traveling. So if you get stuck in traffic, it's actually going to recalculate that speed, and it's always going to tell you approximately what time you're going to get there based on the rate that you're traveling. One of the features I really like about this system is the speed limit warnings. It'll tell you the speed limit of any freeway or surface street that you're driving on, and it'll also warn you when you're over the speed limit. So if I go over the speed limit, that icon is going to turn red. Okay, and it'll also give me an audible warning as well. Now those warnings can be turned on and off as you want. I have mine just set to audible or to visual only. I don't have the audible on. So if I was to exceed the speed limit, I would notice that this icon would be red, and that would indicate to me that I'm going too fast, because it's using GPS to detect my speed at all times. So it's real GPS speed. When you're on longer trips, a really great feature is this button on the upper right-hand side. This is going to show you all the exits that are coming up as you drive. So it's going to show you the next 3 exits. So you can see I've got one at 1 mile, one at 1.8, and one at 2.4. And you can see on those, there's highlighted services. So I've got a gas station, a restaurant, and a automotive service facility at those locations. So if I decide I want to get off at one of those, I can pick which one I want to go to. So for example, if I want to go to In-N-Out Burger, I can select that, and it'll actually select that destination and make it a waypoint on the way to where I'm going. And you can see it even gives me the icon of the In-N-Out Burger right there. Okay.
Driving Mobile Media Solutions.
Audio, #1 in mobile electronics.